We lost everything. We lost everything. When I was on the bus, I didn't know where they were taking me. We didn't know where we were going. And we were just thinking of our house. It was a horrible thing. I wouldn't wish that on nobody.
Calm down.
I wouldn't wish it on nobody.
Calm down, Kent. Getting a flashback?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Every time I remember it, it comes
you're
back.
A flashback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
In the Catholic faith, St. Anthony is known as the patron saint for what is lost. In 2005, the residents of St. Anthony Avenue, in the Gentilly section of New Orleans, lost nearly everything in Hurricane Katrina. In this past year, many New Orleans homeowners have begun receiving federal rebuilding grants through the $9 billion Road Home program. It's the largest housing aid program in U.S. history. Yet in Gentilly and throughout New Orleans, many homes look as they did in 2005. Nine homes line this block of St. Anthony Avenue, each in a different state of repair, or disrepair. It's a typical Gentilly block, but the stories here reflect what's happening in neighborhoods across New Orleans. Bernard Dyer returned to his St. Anthony home 3 months after Katrina.
When the first time I came in this neighborhood to my house, there was no one in this whole community. It was like a stillborn area. It was like the Twilight Zone.
Gentilly's future was uncertain. 5 blocks from where the London Avenue levee breached, the neighborhood had suffered 8 feet of floodwaters.
And that is Dyers, D-Y-E-R-S. When I look at this here, I was like, I can't abandon this. This is ours. You know, this is my kids. This is my grandkids. This is Gentilly. Most of us started out of some project, decided that we didn't want that kind of life for our children, went to work, bought homes, and raised our kids.
Mr. Dyer has not heard from his neighbors 2 doors down. The elderly residents, like many in the city, never returned home. Perhaps the notion of starting over was too daunting. Next door to Mr. Dyer, Larry Smith crosses a wooden beam to get to his house. After Katrina hit, the 68-year-old felt he was tough enough to return.
I went through the 60s. Anybody that went through the 60s, nothing bothered them.
He used his savings to gut his home, then waited until January of 2008 for his $125,000 Road Home grant, and then waited another 6 months for available contractors.
See what happens that when people see a plumbing truck or a contracting truck in the block, they'll walk down and say, can you do my house? But people be coming in looking at their house.
3 years after Katrina, he's the only resident on his block still living in a FEMA trailer, and he knows he'll be there a little while longer.
Oh, probably another 2 months, for me to get finished here.
In the center of the block are Marilyn and Kent Benet. Among the first to return to St. Anthony Avenue, they'd used their own money to rebuild, again. Unlike the rest of their neighbors, they were new to Gentilly and had purchased and renovated their St. Anthony home only 2 months before Hurricane Katrina.
We moved in here June 1st. On August 29th, it was all gone.
From the street, their home looks perfect, but close up, the problems are apparent.
Look at the opening. That was not supposed to be like that. The gutter should have extended further to the right. The marble should have been even with this and not that pink there. This should have been flush with this.
That looks...
Look, this was not even varnished or anything.
Some have had worse contractor fraud than we've had. I know that seems funny, Kent, but it's true.
Yeah.
Stories of contractor fraud are often heard in Gentilly. Many residents made down payments to contractors, never to hear from them again. The Benets received their Road Home money in April of 2008, after they'd nearly finished rebuilding. They paid off the mortgage with the grant, but do not have money left over to correct the contractor's work. Jared Beeman grew up in the house next door to the Benets. With the help of a road home grant, he was the first to fully renovate his home. But he soon faced new problems.
On this side of the house, you pretty much don't have to secure so much. He's always home. If he's not home, I'm home. So, but on this side of the house, it's pretty much a blighted property. Anybody can break in from this side because nobody's there to look at it, you know.
3 years after Katrina, blight is a key issue among those who have returned to their communities. Beyond aesthetic concerns, weeds harbor rodents and insects.
See how the wood is all rotten on this side? So it's just bad termites going all the way up. So I have to double treat my side because of, you know, the house that didn't come back.
Volunteer and church groups provide relief, maintaining some of the worst properties. Though St. Anthony is quieter now, the block is beginning to look familiar. 5 of the 9 homes are occupied. And there's a new sense of community for those who have returned.
Everybody's trying to pull together, you know.